I'd mentioned in a previous post that I had found the need to write something that's a wee bit longer than is comfortable to read, that I would create a video to share that with you in the hopes that we could make it just a little bit easier on everyone. With my newest post, I think I've reached that point. Here's a post that I like to call the Cosmological Constant. The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. Day after day they pour forth speech. Night after night they reveal knowledge. They have no speech. They use no words. No sound is heard from them. Yet their voice goes out into all the earth, their words to the ends of the world. And that was written by King David in Psalms 19, 1 through 4. My wife Kimberly and I have worked in the medical laboratory field since we were young adults. We're now older adults. You could safely say that our careers and our lives have been based on Western science and the application of scientific principles and methods, and yet we also have a vibrant Christian belief system. Aren't we even aware that science and faith can't work together since they seem to have always been at odds with each other? Well, that's not often a question asked by our friends in the faith community. It tends to come from friends and acquaintances in the scientific community. And for my friends in the scientific community who are not believers, I have a scripture for you that addresses that. Lambda. Yes, lambda. Lambda is the Greek letter which was used by Einstein to represent the energy density of space, or the vacuum energy that arises in quantum mechanics. In the past few years, it has become closely associated with the concept of dark energy and is now widely recognized as the cosmological constant. To put it as simply as possible, this is the rate at which our known universe expands. By this point, I'm sure that everyone has stuck with me so far, in both the scientific and in the faith communities, are wondering, how does the cosmological constant demonstrate that God exists? Well, it just so happens to be the biggest lottery win in the universe. You see, when the Big Bang occurred, if the expansion of the universe had been just a fraction higher, the initial particles would have expanded so quickly that it would not have allowed the formation of stars and thus life. If the rate of expansion had been just a little slower, all particles in the initial Big Bang would have retracted into themselves and condensed once again to nothingness. No stars, no planets, no chemistry, no life. The expansion rate was so absolutely perfect that it allowed our universe, and thus you and I, to form. Would you like to know just how lucky we were? Well, you're in luck because physicists have calculated that number. We had a 1 in 10 to the 120th chance of this occurring. Are you still a little baffled by how lucky we were? Okay, let me try and do a better job explaining. Let's say you took a single dime and you painted it red to differentiate it from all other dimes. And then let's say you placed it in a stack of dimes that reached from the United States all the way to the moon. Then let's say you multiplied those stacks by 1 billion. So you had 1 billion United States with a stack of dimes to the moon with only one single red dime in all of those stacks. Then you took all of those stacks and threw them in a great pile and placed a blindfold on a person and told him to pick that one red dime out of the billions and billions and billions of other dimes. That's how lucky we were. And we didn't just win that one unbelievable lottery, we won the lottery with every other known universal constant, such as gravitational force and even the tiny chemical bonds that hold atoms together. We won the lottery with dozens and dozens of known universal constants. Change any of those constants by just a hairbreadth of a fraction in one direction or another, and all that would exist is nothingness. Everything at the moment of the Big Bang was so fine tuned, it was as if the universe was solely created to support life as we know it. You would have had infinitely greater luck at spilling your coffee, and the resulting splash just happens to occur in such a way that it creates a map of the United States with all of its roads, its rivers, mountains, shores. Well, you get the picture. You'd have boundlessly more luck of that happening than what occurred at the moment of the Big Bang. Our universe is so fine tuned for life that it has become a major problem for physicists that do not believe in God. They've had to go so far as to create a hypothesis of multiple or bubble universes to address this issue. But they're still stuck with the same issue. If there is something out there generating an infinite number of parallel universes, who fine-tuned that device? You see, knowing what I know about lambda alone, I simply can't generate enough faith to be an atheist. Well, this is a fire by night moment. I'm glad that you joined me.